Hey there, it's Marisha from Road to Speech, and I'm so glad you are watching. So today we are going to take a look at how I organize my themes, because I know those are materials that can get kind of out of hand and a little crazy, and I've been working really hard to come up with some good systems, and I think I might have found it. But before we get started, I just wanted to quickly introduce myself in case you are new. So I am Marisha. I am a school-based speech-language pathologist in Western Washington, and I blog over at Road to Speech, and I also created the lesson plan membership. But I talk a lot about organization because I really think it can make our jobs a lot easier. So let's hop to it. And as you're coming in, please do say hi and introduce yourself. I'd love to get to know you guys. So I will show you what I came up with this summer with organization. So let's see. Okay. Oh, so I showed you guys these bins before because we talked about my skill-based lesson plans and things, but I also made a system for my themes. So I have a couple random books and materials up here, and then the activity sheets that go with any theme. But I decided to make a folder for each of my themes, and then I put the books behind that. And I don't keep, because I purged so many papers this year, or this summer, because it was just getting out of hand. And I'll show you what I do instead. But this is just all like what I do with a paper copy. So I'll give you an example. So like I have these folders and I splurged on pretty colors, and I'll post the blog post that has more links and pictures. But I put the books for each theme right behind the folder, and then in the folder, and welcome, please feel free to say hi or introduce yourself. But in the folder, I keep a sample of the craft. So for my pirate theme, we made some fancy treasure maps using a paper bag. And then I put the visual instructions because that's something that I like to have a hard copy of. Hi, Elizabeth. And then this is from, okay, sorry, it seems like I cut out for a second. But then I put like 4 pages on one sheet to save some paper, just of a quick overview for the 2 books that are included in the theme. And so with 3 pieces of paper and a craft, I have pretty much like the main pieces of what I need for my crafts or for my themed lessons. So there's not a ton of stuff in here because I got rid of a lot. But then so do you guys have any questions about this piece? I think it's pretty straightforward, but if there's anything in particular, let me know. If not, I will head over to the next piece. So I have these bins, and I have a couple to fit all of the different themes, and then I keep all of the other activities on my iPad. And then, so you guys could use like a Google Drive or something. So Elizabeth, I think I will need 3 bins, and then 1 for the skilled lesson plans. But I also have some extra books. I think just the themes could probably fit in 2 bins. And then you're trying out theme therapy this year, and your room has exploded with random materials, right, Jenna? It can get out of hand. So, and then I'll talk about, because if you stack all, especially if you get some, here, I'll turn this, especially if you accumulate, like if you're not as much of a paper purger as I am, you'll probably accumulate more more bins than I would if you decide to go with this method. But it just made the most sense to me because I just went bonkers last year with all the papers, and I just had to find a way to minimize so I don't have to have all that. And I ended up last year, even though I had the stuff printed out, I still ended up going to my computer and printing it out again. So it wasn't saving me time. And at my school, you don't have to get in line. Like, it automatically prints anything that you print from your computer. But if you want to make a copy, you have to wait in line. So it was kind of a time saver if I could just print instead of making copies. So that's why, another reason why I wanted to get rid of the papers. But then, so I'm keeping I have access to my materials online now. And you could use a Google Drive to do this. I created my lesson plan membership partly for a selfish reason because I needed to make this easier for myself. But I'll show you a little bit of what that looks like and how I use that. Okay, so then I have all of the themed resources here. And then I can quickly just click on whichever one I want. So we were just looking at the pirates, so I'll go with that theme. And then it pulls up all the resources for that theme. So if I want some vocabulary cards, I can pull that up and just print them out. And I personally don't use the vocabulary cards a whole ton, but if it was something that I used a lot, I might print them and laminate them, and there's also a blackline version. But so I would just pick the resources that I use the most and go with it. But then it's also cool because like you could download the reading passage and open it up in an app like Notability, and then you can have paperless therapy. So I sometimes use like my book companions and any theme activities just on the iPad, so I don't even have to print anything. And then there's also theme at a glance. So that helps me stay organized, and I can easily pull that up when I'm doing planning. And I think I might add that to my folders because it's really helpful, but I haven't done that yet. I'm a little bit out of time, but I'm really trying to be careful before I add papers because it gets a little bit crazy. Okay, so a lot of you came in since I started, so I'll just do a quick peek at the bins again. It's not rocket science or anything super complicated, but I know you guys like to see how different people organize, so I'll show you guys my bins again, and then if you have questions, let me know, but I think we might almost be done. Okay, so let me so I created these, or I didn't create the bins, but I put together these bins, and I have two for like themed materials, and then one with just random books that are more for different areas, and then I have my bins for my skill-based resources, and this might end up expanding, but I don't know. So for the themes, I have a folder for each theme. Like I was showing the pirate theme, and I keep, I have a craft for each of the themes, so I have like the visual instructions for that. Then I also have book guides for the books, and I like to be able to have that to quickly reference. So I just keep, those are the 3 papers, or maybe 4 if I have more books for a theme, but that's what I keep in my theme bins, and it's hard to put back. And then I just keep the books right behind them, and I like this system because I was able to minimize a lot of my papers, and then I access what I need from my website, or for you guys, if you want Google Drive, that might be easier too. But that's all that I need, and then I just pull the folder and the books, and I put them in my speech bin, and I don't have that out here, but then I can have easy access to the resources that I need, just with a couple of pieces of paper and the iPad, so it's really easy. But do you guys have any questions or anything else you wanted to see? It's a short video today. I'll turn this around. So just a quick peek. It's nothing very complicated, pretty simple. But yeah, let me know if you have questions. If not, I will be heading out. But it was nice getting to hang out with you guys for a little bit, and I will see you next time.